Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Dear viewers, Assalamu alaikum. I welcome you all to today's New Bangladesh. As usual, we shall discuss about our new policies, new economy, new culture, new education, new people, overall new Bangladesh. Our today's topic is nuclear, biological and chemical warfare in the present world context and the defensive measures needed for Bangladesh. Here in our studio as our guest present, two specialists, Colonel Shahjalal, who is a nuclear war analyst, and nuclear scientist, Dr. TANVIR AHMED BIMAN. Assalamu alaikum, sir.
Walaikum salam.
How are you, sir? All?
Thank you so much.
So, thank you very much to be present here. And obviously, our audience will be also glad to see you here. In the present world context, we all are worried about the war, obviously, and we know that now there are many countries, those who are heavily equipped with nuclear weapons. And if any war, this type of war, where nuclear weapons, biological weapons, or chemical weapons are used, what may happen with the mankind, it is really terrible. So everyone is worried. Now, as Bangladesh, we know that we have obviously a nuclear power plant at Rupur, but we are using it for peace purposes. But some of our neighboring countries, they have both. They are using nuclear energy as peace purposes, and they have nuclear weapons as well. So obviously, as a neighboring country, we need to think about this nuclear warfare. So our today's discussion will be on these topics. I know that Colonel Jalal, he is a nuclear war analyst, and Dr. Tanvir Ahmed Biman, who is a nuclear scientist. So at the very beginning, I would like to ask Colonel Jalal, please tell us firstly about you in brief, and then Dr. Tanvir Ahmed Biman about you in brief shortly, sir. Sir, please.
Thank you so much, and also to your channel for giving me the opportunity to talk in this environment. And in the present situation, this is a very highly demanding subject which everybody should know. So before I go into that, let me introduce myself. Basically, I am a retired army officer. I have served in Corps of Engineers, where my job encompasses this subject also. Basically, I am a graduate in civil engineering from BUET, and also I have an MBA degree. And I have done a course in Saudi Arabia on bomb disposal, where I had to study about the nuclear warfare, nuclear, chemical, and biological warfare. There, they covered these all three issues. And later on also, in my engineering school, center and school, I had been instructor, where I have taught my students about this NBC warfare. Thank you so much.
Thanks for giving me the opportunity to be here and say something on the topic. Before that, I am introducing myself, that I am Dr. TANVIR AHMED BIMAN, nuclear scientist. Now I am working at Bangladesh Atomic Energy Commission as principal scientific officer. I was graduated from Soviet Union, and I got my PhD degree and got every experimental works in Kurchatov Institute, which is renowned and known like Russia's Research Center.
Is it that institute which first made the nuclear bomb in Soviet Union, in Russia?
The named scientist Kurchatov, who invented the first atomic bomb in Soviet Union. And then his followers invented also hydrogen bomb, and also later on also development on this nuclear technology. Nowadays, it is actual title on the problem is that the NBC warfare, which is threatening all the people in the world. Now we are in threat, deep threat, looking around. And we'll talk about then. Okay, thank you.
Well, sir, Colonel Jawad, sir, can you please tell us about NBC warfare in brief, sir?
NBC warfare is basically nuclear, biological and chemical warfare. In the nuclear portion, basically it is the nuclei of the atom which takes place in the reaction. It may be fission or fusion. And in the biological, it is basically some germ of some various
Microorganic
fatal disease. Those are cultivated and in a very special way, those are injected into the weapon, and then it is delivered through some weapon in certain areas, so that people of that area get caught by that biological germs. So that is the biological side. These may be pox or plague or anything like that. Then chemical warfare, where the various types of chemical or gases are used, which will incapacitate or injure person instantly. So these are the in brief about this NBC warfare.
Well, sir, I need to ask the question about this coronavirus. Is it something like that biological weapon, or it got in naturally?
There had been a big speculation that it was a biological warfare by US or by China. So it is very tough to comment on that, what is the actual fact. But as I came to know from the newspaper that in some research center in China, they had been doing some experiment on some birds or something like that, and somehow that was leaked out. But that same factory was used to run by the fund of the USA. So speculation comes from probably from there. It might be, might not be, I am not sure.
Well, sir, now as Bangladesh, we have nuclear power plant, but we don't have any nuclear weapon. But you see, when the fire causes, no one is safe from that fire. So as a peaceful country, peace-loving country, in this case, we need to take defensive measurements. Is it right, sir?
Obviously.
What kind of defensive measurements we can take?
In our teaching, there is a great word saying that offense is the best defense, which some of the advanced countries in the world, they are using that strategy. And also in defense also there is something offense inbuilt. Okay. So if we think about the pure defense, then we need to take some passive measures which will help us to protect ourselves from this hazard. And defensive measure is basically you can protect yourself from the indirect effect or even in some cases direct effect. So let me now narrate you about the defensive measures. There are various ways we can take the defensive measure. First is in the preparatory stage. That means war has not yet taken place, but you need to take some preparation. So what can be that? We can regulate some policy by our policy makers, so that people are forced to make basement in their buildings. So this basement is a good shelter zone. Now you see in the present context of the world, where this type of problem is going on, people are less casualty because they are inside a good shelter. So this basement is a good shelter zone. So if we make it, this is in peacetime, we can use it for parking and for many other reasons, and during the crisis we can use it as a shelter. So it is serving both a purpose. This is one thing that we can do without spending any additional money, just by regulating the policy or formulating the policy. So this is one best we can do, number one. Number two, we can have some protective equipment against NBC warfare. But by that, you should not be misguided that by having a protective equipment, you can be a hero and walk in the midst of the nuclear attack. It is not that. Protective equipment can protect you against a certain limit of exposure. Say some detonation has taken place 400 kilometers away from you, and you are not within the lethal range, and but some radiation is coming. In those type of situations, this protective equipment is going to protect you in going to give you some level of protection. So this is another one. And in preparatory stage, another thing we can do, we can collect or store some nuclear war-related casualty when it is happening, or before the casualty is happening. There are some types of medicines we need to take, like iodine or something like that. So those we can store. So and also another thing, nuclear effect is less in the hilly regions. So if you build your house in such a place where the natural obstacles are more, then even there is a nuclear blast in and around you, it is going to affect you less. So these are the things you can do in the preparatory stage. Now, once the problem has started, say somewhere some fallout is already there, then what should you do? For military people, there is one type of instruction. For civilian, there is also some another type of instruction. But there are many things common. So let me discuss with the common ones. At first, if you see a flash, you should not try to look at that. You should immediately go to the shelter or take cover from an obstacle. Say you are not inside your house. You find there is some flash in this direction. Maybe a big tree is nearby you. So you hide behind the tree. That is also going to give you some protection. So that is one. Then if you are able to go to some closed door, that is better. Then if you have the scope to go in the concrete bunker or basement, something like that, you should take shelter there immediately. And there is a word called nuclear blast wave. So if you don't have proper education, you will not be able to protect you properly. Once a nuclear blast is taking place, at first the one wave is going. So after that wave has gone, somebody might think that okay, problem is over. It is not over. It will, once it is getting obstructed somewhere, it is going to be reflected and coming in the reverse direction. So it will go once and it will come back once. So you have to wait for this two sequence. After that you can come out of the shelter. So this thing you have to keep in mind. And also there will be a burn. There is in nuclear war there is a say blast zone, then thermal zone, then the lethal radiation zone, then the fallout, and after fallout there is also radiation years together. So if you are within the blast zone, you don't need to take any preparation. You die instantly. In the thermal zone, it depends on how long or how far you are, depends on that. So if you are in the lethal zone, then based on the radiation intensity, your chance of survivability will depend, and that radiation will depend, intensity will depend on the yield of the weapon. So once there is blast somewhere nearby, so if you are in a position that you are surviving, say you had been outside, you come inside your door, you must remove your clothes and wash your exposed skin with some iodized solution or something like that. So, and you should not touch anything before you are cleaning your exposed body, something like that. So these are the precautions you need to take during the action is taking place. And afterwards, you might need to take treatment from the doctors for the side effects, because there will be various types of injuries, burns, third degree burn. If there is a third degree burn, then chance of survival is 50-50. Somebody may survive, somebody may not survive. So later on you may have to meet doctor to take proper treatment. That is in short, I think I could cover maximum part.
Thank you, sir. So now the question is to Dr. Tanvir Ahmed Biman. Sir, you lived in Moscow and you performed your PhD research in Moscow, sir. So there we saw, I was also studying there, so we saw that the underground metros, they're very deep. Probably they made a deep underground metro so that they can be used for the protection from nuclear warfare. In our country, now we have upper ground metro. The underground metro is probably under construction, or the construction is going to be started very soon. I don't know about the design of our underground metro. Do you think that it should be very deep so that we can use it for that nuclear war purpose as well?
Yeah, obviously, if we can make it deeper, then we can accommodate more people in that area for shelter. I think that we should see.
We should consider this when considering the underground metro. And in Moscow underground metro, probably they have some arrangements to get oxygens and to get foods also there.
Foods are also there. They have also a train line also to get food supply. They got everything. Ventilation system, electricity, everything.
Another thing is this awareness about this NBC, that means nuclear, biological and chemical warfare. Today I had an experience. I teach in a university as a guest professor. Okay, so I teach my students in a physics course that nuclear physics, quantum mechanics, relativistic physics, all these things. But today I got an email that why you are teaching these things, they are not included in the course outline. I tried to explain them that maybe they are not in the course outline. It means that your course outline is backdated, because in today's context, the engineers must be taught all these things, which should create awareness among these peoples. Now you see that even to some extent that our educational institutions are not that much conscious about this type of awareness. So you also, I know, you also teach in some university as guest professor, sir. What is your opinion about this?
My opinion is that the educational institutions are not yet ready to revise their curriculum. Improve.
It must be done. It must be done. But Colonel Jalal told that there are two waves. One wave is going, then reflecting back.
Yes.
I also teach them waves and oscillations.
Yeah.
So they must be taught in present days universities. Yes.
Obviously.
Obviously.
In fact, our education should be based on the real life experience.
Yes.
But in many part of our education, we are yet to develop in that line. Suppose as a human being, you have four or five basic needs, out of which one is that your accommodation. So for accommodation, you need to purchase land. But our people, after even obtaining PhD degree, they do not know anything about the land. There is nothing in his course curriculum, nowhere in the
how to purchase a
how
land,
to purchase
how to get
how to check
registration.
the document. But you will find some broker who is not that educated. He is much more knowledgeable on that on you.
Yes.
So and you are becoming captive to that person.
Yeah.
So our education should be realistic.
Yeah.
What is the problem if we keep some part of the real life thing in our syllabus? At least if you have some idea, then later on you can nurture more and you can learn a better way if you get the guideline.
And as regards reform, that our present government is trying to make reforms in various areas.
Correct.
Probably they are not doing reform in education. I think that there is no education commission. there are media commission,
I have
other
not
police
heard.
commission, no education
I have
commission.
not heard.
I also not heard. Should be there, Vishal.
Yes.
Well, sir. Now the question is to Colonel Jalal. Please tell us about that. How nuclear bomb is delivered to a counterpart during war?
It is delivered in various ways. It depends on the capability you have. It can be delivered from submarine. It can be delivered by aircraft. It can be delivered by ground-to-ground missile, which we call surface-to-surface, like ballistic missile or even by cruise missile. So these are the ways: by missile, by ground missile, by submarine, by aircraft. These are the broad three categories by which it can be delivered.
From the aircraft carrier, can it be thrown?
Aircraft carrier is a carrier of some fighter jet. So I told that it is from the fighter aircraft.
Not directly from the aircraft carrier.
Not directly from the aircraft.
Well, in some countries, I'm not mentioning the names, in some superpower countries, they are having the nuclear warheads on the rail lines, railways. Okay, they are continuously moving so that it would be difficult to track them. So from there also they can throw the missiles, nuclear warheads. Is it right?
If from the rail line means it is a surface launched missile.
Surface launched, yes.
So surface to surface. So this can be through rail line. This can be from any vehicle or vessel. It can be anything. But about the tracking, it depends on the capability of the adversary. How much keen the adversary is to look monitor from the sky, like drone or like satellites. It depends on that. But in present war context, what we understand that is, it is basically very difficult to hide things. So deceive the enemy. What is done? Say you have one nuclear bogie, okay? Now you will make 10 non-nuclear bogie, which looks like nuclear, and it will move. So once somebody is coming to target you, he is going to be deceived which one the actual one. So this is the best way of deceiving. But having a certain thing I have, but you are moving and nobody will know, that is very difficult at present. So you have to make many dummies to hide.
Okay, well, sir. Sir, I know that you are also a nuclear medicine specialist. What Colonel Jalal sir told about that taking iodine or something like this when you are affected by nuclear weapons. Please tell us something about this, sir.
The most sensitive organ of our body is thyroid. And usually thyroid uptake iodine. When we have the situation where might be a nuclear blast or like this, then first one we have to give the what Colonel Jalal said also. We have to give the population iodine tablet. Iodine tablet, which if anyone takes iodine tablet, the thyroid gland will absorb the iodine. And then this observation protect to accumulate iodine furthermore. So first thing, the population should have the chance to get iodine tablet. First thing. And then the other thing is sensitive things is eye.
Eye, yes.
Earlier, Colonel Jalal said that we shouldn't look at the flash.
Flash. Well, sir, here are two specialists. One is a nuclear war analyst, another is nuclear scientist. Do you have any question to him, to this specialist, and do you have any question to Colonel Jalal?
Okay, yes. There we can not really question. We can discuss one more thing, like that. There are nuclear bombs of various types. Just before coming here, I had been discussing with him that fission and fusion, two types. And in Hiroshima and Nagasaki, say the bomb that was dropped, it was 15 to 17 kiloton. Now there is up to 50 megaton. USSR has conducted test. So capacity is unimaginably high. So my question is that what are the various types of yields can be used, if you have anything, any knowledge on that, in the battlefield, what are the likely yield they are going to use?
Most thing, when a nuclear blast happens, the release of energy in the form of in two forms. Likely heat and also radiation. And the form of radiation is two types: particulate, non-particulate. When in first atom bomb, the epicenter heated likely 1 million degrees centigrade, which was
15 or 17
kiloton.
Kiloton only, huh?
Only.
Kilo means 1,000, yes.
Already, Mr. Jalal already mentioned that now megaton.
Several megatons.
Several megatons. 10 to the power 6. Kilo means 10 to the power 3.
So
10 to the power 6, okay.
We can assume how energy can release. And in types of heat, it is also, we cannot imagine how could be. It might be 10 to the power 6 times more than 1 million. We also know the further effect of the heat, how it is spread. And then also the second form of energy, like radiation, there is particulate radiation and non-particulate radiation. Particulate radiation, we know that 2.5 sievert is the lethal dose 50, which means that if we are here likely 100 people, if we are exposed by this dose, 50% of the population will die. This is the lethal dose 50. And when the nuclear blast happens, million of sievert can exit out of the bomb. So what happened? No one can tell you.
No one can tell. Okay, sir. Okay, sir. So do you have any question to Colonel Jalal? As a nuclear scientist, a nuclear analyst, war analyst. There must be a combination, I think, that in, I don't know, in army, you have a school, you told that, bomb disposal school or something like this.
No, that is basically not boundary, that is the school of military engineering.
Military engineering.
There the combat engineering is taught, and in that there is one separate course, that is bomb disposal. Same course I had undergone in Kingdom of Saudi Arabia.
Okay.
It is in all countries they have similar course. So in Saudi Arabia, within that course there is one package, nuclear, biological, chemical warfare. So, and as an engineer officer, we need to understand this. I want to share you my real life experience on that.
Yes, please.
I carried out my first mission in Kuwait.
Yes.
Where my duty was to dispose of the unexploded aerial bombs. Okay. During the Iraq-Kuwait war, when the Western countries, they have taken part in that war, and Iraqi forces had to withdraw from the world theater. So while withdrawing the Iraqi forces, the USA, they have dropped depleted uranium shell. Its diameter is about 1.3 inch probably, 1 inch, little more than 1 inch, and length is only say 3.5 inch or maximum 4 inch. So after going to that country in Kuwait, when I had been in desert to carry out my job, one of my senior soldiers, who is in rank, which is a warrant officer, he came to me and called me, yes sir, please come and look at this, what had been taught to us in the induction training here. This bomb is not matching with any one of them. That is unknown, because
Unknown, okay.
after we go there, we are shown by various pictures of various bombs for our identification, so that we can understand while we carry out our job. So he doesn't find it matching with any of the pictures. So he was unable to, and not only picture, we had also some dummy in our laboratory or in our store. So it doesn't match with anyone. When I go there, I also got surprised, because it is not common to me also. There are some basic rules in our training, that when something is unknown, how to handle with that. So I have started using that basic teaching, and with I didn't touch it directly with my hand. With some stick or something like that, I was removing it and seeing the various side of the and in one side I found there is a triangle mark and yellow color.
Yeah.
So as an engineer officer, I know what is yellow color. That has struck my head. Then I instantly told that don't touch it. He was about to blast it before coming to me. Suddenly he thought that let me contact to my senior. So if you had blasted, then he would be in a radiation hazard.
Yeah.
Because when it is unexploded, it does that also it emits radiation, but not much. But in a bulk together, then it is a good amount of radiation. So there he got around say 5 to 7, in some other place more. So once it is accumulated, it will be more together, and then it is going to be hazardous. So I contacted with our authorities, Kuwaiti authorities. They sent some French expert, and later on they buried it inside a concrete bunker. So now what is that depleted uranium shell? That I want to tell you. Size and dimension already I said. It is dropped from air. Once it is dropped from air, it penetrates armored plate very easily. Though it is a very small, this is the dia and this much length, but it is spaced very easily. And its advantage is that what I heard from there, because it's technical, all capabilities, you will not get it even in the net. You will not get it. You will get some data, but not all. But what I heard, if it strikes in any one of the metallic body of any armored vehicle, that whole carrier or transport is, or the whatever it is going to be contaminated.
Contaminated. with
And the
radiation.
person inside that, he dies because of loss of oxygen. And there is some electric shock of action. Because the thing is very small but very dangerous. But its radiation doesn't spread, spread long. Radiation is very localized. And I saw in Abdalia border with Iraq, many guns, destroyed guns are stockpiled together. I asked somebody that why it is so many things are here. It can be reused or something like that. Then somebody informed me those are radioactive contaminated guns. So if you touch it, you are also going to be affected. So now what is that depleted uranium shell? How it is made, or from where it is made? When you enrich uranium to make a bomb or for any other purpose, it is coming as a byproduct. And once you get the byproduct, even then you cannot make it if you don't have the industrial facility to make that uranium shell. So at that moment, given moment, America had the capability, and also some other I don't know whether it will be feasible to say the name because it is unofficial. Some other countries I came to know, they also have, they are not very far from us, that this type of small things. So if some country is having this type of things, he can easily resist his enemy without bigger radiation hazard. As I had been studying, probably Ukraine got supply of this type of things. I got it in the net, and they used it against Soviet armored vehicles or something like that. So it is a very effective weapon, and it also having various size. Say whatever I saw that is 30 millimeter also for by, it can be also delivered by artillery gun. That is probably 105 millimeter dia. So these are the another things I practically encountered in my life, and probably at while I had been undergoing that assignment in Kuwait, I became sick. I don't know whether it is that effect or not. Whenever I come to Bangladesh, I find after 15 days I become okay. Whenever I go there, I become sick. And probably that might have some effect on me. And it took time after coming back to recover.
Well, sir, since I teach in the universities MBA and EMBA courses, I have many students from Bangladesh Army, Navy and Air Force, Bangladesh Defense. What I know that there is something called militarization of the civilians and civilianizations of the military.
Military people.
Yes, military people. So as you were in that school and the nuclear warfare is taught there as a course, is it taught by the military officials only, or you sometimes you invite the specialists like Dr. Tanvir?
At that time, I did not see any guest speaker from the specialist like him, but it's a good idea. If it is introduced, it will give them better education.
Better education. And at the same time, sir, in Atomic Energy Commission or in other places, you know that our military people are now they are having huge experiences since they are working in the UN missions. So you can also invite these people. Those have practical experience on this. Do you do it, sir?
Yeah, in Rupur, the physical protection is on army brigade. So we are
for education purpose. Do you invite this specialist? Yeah.
Not yet, not yet. In education purpose, we have some cooperation with MIST. There is a lot of training. They got a lot of trainings from Bangladesh Atomic Energy Commission.
So you are training them, but are you getting training from them? Or education
Not
from
yet,
them? Not yet.
not yet.
So you think that it is needed also?
Yeah.
Needed also. And
Yeah.
do you have
Vice
any
versa cooperation
research cooperation? I think both side research cooperations. Do you have it?
We have some research cooperation, no, especially with the MIST, especially the assurers are engaged.
But this level research, with nuclear warfare or this level research, don't you have? Well, sir, thank you very much. Then about the effects, I think that the effects are of many degrees effects, I think.
Yeah.
Many degrees effects. What are the countries so far affected by nuclear weapons? The question is to both of you, sir. What are the countries? Please tell sir. Then Jalal sir.
Nuclear weapons.
Yeah.
Should I mention what is going on?
Affected only one probably.
Japan?
Japan.
Only Japan.
Japan.
Okay. Nuclear
Any
bomb
other-
was used only once. That type of nuclear
yes,
bombs. But
yes.
when you are telling about this depletion, what uranium
is,
depletion? It is also a kind of bomb, I think.
This is a bomb, but this is not recognized as a nuclear bomb. This is a byproduct of nuclear bomb preparation. And let me add something more. That is, we had been discussing about 15 kiloton effect or megaton effect. There are some intermediate yields. Those are called tactical bomb. So, and sometimes, like in the movie, we see or hear that somebody is moving with briefcase and there is a button in him, then there will be nuclear war. And other than these, it cannot happen. This is not that. If some countries might have already disbursed some small nuclear weapon to his frontal forces, which doesn't require any button, nuclear button or something like that.
Right, yes.
Once they get command from their upper echelon, they will use it. Those types of small yield weapon are used basically for defensive purpose. Like, say, somebody is invading my country, so I am withdrawing. So once they get inside my land, then once I drop one small one, that effect is not that bigger. But that invading concentrated force, that is going to be vanished. So
Okay.
those types of smaller yield weapon are also available with very many countries.
Okay. In World War II, they used the mines for these purposes. Mines, for defensive purposes.
Yes, my
Yeah,
anti-personnel mine,
anti-personnel
anti-tank mine.
mines. Yes. Now they are using this type of nuclear weapons.
Not using, they have the preparation to use.
Preparation
not
to
using.
Not using. Okay.
And the counterpart, they know that this is going to happen. That's why the two nuclear power, they do not probably fight each other in this way, with this year. Because once one person use, then another person also going to use. Then from the smaller may lead to a bigger one. So, but when someone's sovereignty will be severely threatened, that his land, he is going to lose his land, probably at that time going to use.
Well, sir. As regards that various types of nuclear weapons, that you know, sir, as a nuclear scientist, that we get radiation from many elements. We have now 114 elements, I think, okay, elements. And from those 114 elements, some are having radiation, like uranium, not only uranium. As regards plutonium, it is also having high radiation. And one drop of plutonium is enough to kill a person. Am I right, sir?
Yes.
So it can be used as poison, I think.
There is also a toxic effect of plutonium.
So from that periodic table of Mendeleev, how many of them are getting radiation or spreading radiation?
Just now I
Okay,
can tell you the exact
uranium,
number.
plutonium, and
but the heavy metals,
thorium, I think also.
thorium,
Thorium.
uranium, plutonium, and then right side of the table. There is also left side. In the left side also like thorium, and then
Polonium, I think.
Polonium.
Also. Polonium also.
Cadmium, not radioactive, but cadmium, the final product of the series of the uranium.
Well, why I'm asking this question, that they are too much toxic and they can also be used at weapons.
Yeah.
Do you think that there are this type of weapons? The question is to both of you, sir.
Plutonium is the fusion product of uranium.
Yes.
If plutonium goes through the fission, then they will upper energy than uranium. They have many chain of reaction and got stable with the product barium and cadmium. Then the intermediate product, many products are radioactive, and most of them are radioactive, and they can use in different ways. In nuclear medicine, we also use molybdenum.
Molybdenum, yes. Yes.
And we get technetium-99, M99, metastable technetium-99, which is used for molecular imaging. So you can use radioactive materials in both ways, in destructive and constructive.
Constructive, yes.
Well, sir, the question is again to both of you, sir. You know, Bangladesh, obviously, in weapon we are not that much rich. and it will be very much difficult for us to have nuclear weapon like that to that extent. But can we make small nuclear weapons for defensive purposes? Are we capable in it?
It is not the question of capability, it is a question of regulation. Because once you set the sign in the international treaty, non-polarization treaty, NPTs, am I correct? So, and also international convention, other than the five permanent member of the United Nations, no one can make nuclear weapon. Though later on they had to recognize the reality of India and Pakistan. But North Korea is also having, but not yet declared in that way or recognized. So some other more countries might also have. So regulation will not permit you to have. If the UN resolution is changed, the rule is changed or modified, only then you can do it. Otherwise, the financial strength, the political strength, the diplomatic strength you have, you cannot dream to do that.
Well, understand the political and financial and diplomatic strength, but as nuclear scientists, are we capable theoretically to make this type of weapons? Theoretically, we are capable.
We are capable because if you we are already embarking the nuclear technology by Rupur power plant, nuclear power plant. If we have capability, if we can increase our capability like 12,000 megawatt or like that, then we get the enough plutonium fusion product which may used in nuclear weapon.
Well, sir, the last question is about the awareness of our people, to build awareness among our people to protect us from this nuclear warfare, sir. Tell few words about this, you, sir, and you also, sir.
Okay, that is a very last but interesting, most important question. About awareness of the general people, it is a must. And we must circulate the effects, how the nuclear effect is going to take place, in which zone, in blast zone what is going to happen, in thermal zone what is going to happen. So these are things, the things we need to circulate or we need to publish in the newspaper or in the media so that people can come to know it, number one. Number two, we must also try to take effort to make awareness in the general citizen in the international level. Because why I am telling it? Because from my experience in South Sudan, I have seen or I have observed while discussing with other countries' high official citizens, they are not aware of the devastating effect of the nuclear weapon. They are thinking that since they have a better anti-aircraft defense system, so their defense system will neutralize any missile, so they will not be affected. But they are totally unaware that if there is a nuclear war, this will not come into in any use. No one going to win in nuclear war. Either both sides having nuclear weapon is going to lose. It is a mutual destruction. But it has appeared to me by the discussion with those people which I have come across in South Sudan, that many educated people of those developed countries are not aware about the devastating effect of nuclear weapon. Probably if they would be aware, then what chaos is presently taking place in the world in various regions which may lead to nuclear war, this would not take place. Because once you feel that later on I am also going to be affected and I will not survive, then you are going to tell your government, please stop the war. So awareness within our people and also awareness within the world level people, both are very important.
Well, sir, in connection with this, that our late president, Shahjalal Rahman, he mentioned or he proposed in the UN United Nations organization's meeting that we should disarmament of all nuclear weapons. So what do you think, that his proposal was right or wrong? But he proposed it in late 70s.
Late 70s, the days the warhead were in the world about 60,000 warhead were being
At that
existed
time.
at that time. Now the superpower like Russia have 3,500 nuclear warhead, and USA 3,100, like this. So after the declaration, it becomes
They reduced or increased? Reduced.
reduced. Obviously reduced.
Reduced. Okay, reduced.
Obviously reduced.
Reduced. It should be reduced more and more.
More and more.
Well, thank you very much, sir. Dear viewers, this is all with today's discussions. We had very important two guests. I hope that you enjoyed the discussion. So thank you again to be with us, and hope to see you in the next episode. Assalamu alaikum.